Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is M.Rifqi binti Abdul Talib, and I will explain about types of turbine. In this topic, I will explain three types of turbine. The first one is couple turbine, franchise turbine, and lastly is Pelton turbine. So the first one is couple turbine. Couple turbine is an axial reaction flow turbine, means that the flow direction does not change as it crosses the rotor. It has an adjustable blade and also known as reaction turbine. It was invented in 1913 by Victor Kaplan, and he was developed the turbine by combine automatically adjusted wicket gauge to achieve efficiency over a wide range of flow and water level. Later, couple turbine was introduced in 1922 and mainly used at the rivers. Okay, so this is the basic construction of couple turbine. It consists of spiral casing, shaft, runner, draft tube, hub or boss, and guide vane. Okay, so the spiral casing, also known as screw casing, and is a type casing that decreases the cross-section area and protects the internal parts of the turbine. And next is shaft. The shaft is connected to the generator shaft, and runner is actually the rotating part of the turbine, and it helps in producing the electricity and has adjustable blades. Okay, so this is the guide vane, and the guide vane is the controlling part of the turbine, and then draft tube. Draft tube is the increasing area of the tube, and one of the draft tube is connected to the runner outlet, and the other part is submerged in the tail race. Okay. Next is basic circuits of couple turbine. Actually, this is a regulating system of couple turbine, and in this regulating system, it contains the mathematical models of the governor, the dual regulated vane control over here, and then it has system, water division system, and then it has blade control system and turbine and water division system. Okay, now now I will explain the operations of Kaplan turbine. So the firstly, water from the penstock entering into the spiral casing, and usually spiral casing design with required shape to prevent from the pressure losses. After entering the spiral casing, the water will enter into the guide vane, and guide vane will direct the water to the runner blade. When the water takes a 90-degree turn, the direction of water is adjusted to the runner blade. The water comes with much pressure, and hence it rotates the rotor that were attached. And after that, from the runner blade, the water enters into the draft tube. Over here, the pressure and kinetic energy decreases, and kinetic energy get converted to pressure energy, result in increase the pressure of water. Further rotation of the turbine is used to rotate the shaft of the generator to generate electricity. Okay, the application of couple turbine. The first one is couple turbines are widely used for electric power production. They cover the lowest head hydro sites and are especially suited for high flow conditions. Inexpensive microturbines are manufactured for individual power production with as little as 2 feet of head. And last is large couple turbines are individually designed for each site to operate at the highest possible efficiency, typically over 90%. Okay, next is the advantage of couple turbine. The first one, couple turbines work more efficiently at low water head and high flow rates as compared with other turbines. High efficiency compares them with other types of hydraulic turbines, and couple turbine is easy to construct and smaller in size. Okay, the disadvantage of couple turbine. A large flow rate must be required. The main disadvantage are the cavitation process that occurs due to pressure drops in the draft tube. The use of the draft tube and proper material, generally stainless steel, for the runner blades may reduce the cavitation problem to a greater extent. Okay, now we move to the franchise turbine. So franchise turbine is actually combination of both impulse and reaction turbine, and the blades rotate using both reaction and impulse force of water flowing. Franchise turbine is used for the production of electricity in hydropower station, and it was invented by James B. Francis in Lowell by combining both impulse and reaction turbine, where water enters the turbine radically and exits axially. And beside that, it is also known as mixed flow turbine. Okay, this is the basic construction of franchise turbine. Okay, so it consists of spiral case, water guiding device, operating ring, main shaft, water inlet, head cover, guide vane, draft tube, runner, and steering. Okay, the guide vane and steer vane, the both of these vane, it guides the water to the runner blades, and spiral casing is the inlet medium of water to the turbine, and runner blades is the performance and efficiency of the runner blades, and lastly is draft tube. Draft tube is the place where it discharges water from the exit of turbine to the tail race. Okay, next we proceed with the basic circuits of franchise turbine. Actually, this is franchise turbine trainer that called HM430C. In this trainer, the pressure at the inlet and outlet of turbine, the temperatures, and flow rate was recorded by sensors. Okay. Now the principal work of franchise turbine. Firstly, the water will enter the spiral casing of turbine and then lead the water through the steer vanes and the guide vanes. As the spiral casing decreases in diameter, it was to maintain the flow pressure. Then the steer vanes remove the stress from the water and try to make the flow of water more linear to be deflected by adjustable guide vanes. The angle of guide vane decides the angle of attack of water at the runner blades. Runner blades can change the angle, so the angle is all about the guide vanes that controls the power output of the turbine. Runner blades divided to two parts, the lower and the upper. The lower is made to rotate the turbine, and the upper part is to use the reaction force of water flow through it. And the water coming out from runner blades lack of kinetic and pressure energy, and by using the draft tube, it can recover the pressure as it advances towards the rail. As it advances towards the race. Okay. Next is application of franchise turbine. Franchise turbine widely used in hydropower plants to generate electricity. Besides that, it's also used in irrigation water pumping set to pump water from ground in addition to electrical products, and they may be used for pump storage where reservoir is filled by the turbine that acting as pump during low power demand and then reversed and used to generate power during peak demand. Okay. The advantage of franchise turbine is the difference in operating head can be extra simply controlled by franchise. Um, The difference in operating head can be extra simply controlled by franchise turbine. The mechanical efficiency of franchise turbine is more efficient compared with the plain wheel, and we will discuss the platen wheel after this. Okay, next is the runner size of franchise turbine is small. And for the disadvantage, first, the water which is not the water which is not dirt-free can cause extremely rapid wear in high-head franchise turbine. The repair and inspection of franchise turbine is much harder reasonably, and it the and current losses of franchise turbine are certain. Okay, so we proceed with the last types of turbine, which is delta turbine. So pellet turbine is a type of hydro turbine, specifically an impulse turbine. It was also known as pellet wheel. and it was invented by Lester Pelton in 1880 during the gold rush. Pelton turbine is a tangential flow impulse turbine in which pressure energy of water is converted to kinetic energy to form high-speed water jet, and this jet strikes the wheel tangentially to make it rotate. Okay, so this is basic construction of the Pelton turbine, and it consists of brick nozzle, runner, bucket, casing, jet of water, nozzle, penstock, water, and spear. Okay, so penstock is where the water source comes through, and the nozzle is the function of nozzle is by using nozzle, the high-speed water jet can be formed. And spear in the nozzle is to control the water jet from nozzle, and then brake nozzle. Braking jet is used to stop the runner wheel when it's not working. Okay. Okay, next is basic circuit of Pelton turbine. This is example of circuit of Pelton turbine. It has water nozzle, Pelton turbine, DC generator, load circuit. Okay. Okay. Now we will talk about principal operation of Pelton turbine. Firstly, water is transferred from high head source through penstock, and then the nozzle at the end of penstock helps the water to accelerate and flows out with high velocity and discharge to atmospheric pressure. The jet will hit splitter of the bucket, which will distribute the jet into two halves of bucket, and the wheel starts revolving. Kinetic energy of the jet is reduced when it hits the bucket. Due to the spherical shape of bucket, the directed jet will change its direction and force to tail race. The inlet angle of jet is in between 1 degree to 3 degree. After hitting the bucket, the deflected jet angle is in between 165 degree to 170 degree. The water collected in tailrace should not submerge the Pelton wheel in any case. Okay, next is the application of the Pelton turbine. Pelton wheel is the preferred turbine for hydropower when the available water source has a relatively high hydraulic head at low flow rate. In a hydroelectric power plant, this is used to drive the generator of the turbine, and that generator generates the mechanical energy of the turbine into the electrical energy. Next is Pelton wheels are made in all sizes for maximum power and efficiency. The wheel and turbine system is designed such that the water jet velocity is twice than the velocity of the rotating bucket. The smallest Pelton wheels are only few inches across and can be used to tap power for mountain streams having flows of a few gallons per minute. Some of these systems use household plumbing fixtures for water delivery. Okay. Next is the advantage of Pelton turbine. Firstly, Pelton turbine has simple construction and it was easiest to maintain. And Pelton turbine has no cavitation problem like French turbine. And Pelton turbine can be both axial and radial flow and can work on low discharge. Okay, now this is the last part of my presentation, which is disadvantage of Pelton turbine. So I will explain three disadvantages of Pelton turbine. The first one is it requires high head operation, and second is although it has high efficiency, but its efficiency also decreases quickly with time. And the last one is due to high head, it is very difficult to control variation in operating head. So thank you, and that's all for me.
Assalamualaikum, my name is M.Rifqi. Today I will present about inverse time. Okay. Introduction about inverse time is delay inverse definite minimum time relay are protection relay. They are used to a transmission line to see that the line current does extensive values, and if it does, trigger the circuit breaker. Mean inverse defines minimum time. So as the current keeps increases, the relay takes minimum time to trip the circuit. Inverse also mean higher the current value, less the time taken for the relay to trip the circuit. That is why the relay is referred as inverse definite minimum time over current relay, or simply IDMT relay. Okay, next, basic construction. It has been shown that the state reached at time t equal to 1, starting from 0 initial state, construct the numerator metric of the right inverse system. Based on the above constructive produce of an inverse, a necessary and sufficient condition is given for K integral invertibility of linear system over a commutative ring with identity. With the increasing penetration of distributed generation in the distribution network, the traditional inverse time over current protection scheme is difficult to certify the requirements of selectivity and quickness because of the randoms and fluctuation of DG's output. Based on the digital inverse time over current protection relay, this paper proposed a new protection scheme of inverse time over current protection with characteristic be defined by user. And then inverse time in principle, as you can see, we have Hawking. The working principle of ideal relay, ideal inverse time characteristic cannot be achieved in an overcurrent relay. As the current in the system increase, the secondary current of the current transformer is increased proportionally. The secondary current into the relay current coil, but when the CT becomes saturated, there will not be future proportional increase of CT. Secondary current will increase system current from this phenomenon. Okay, and this is a schematic of principal inverse time, and we have speed equal to distance over time, or speed equal distance over time. Okay, next, comparison. Inverse time is characteristics. Accurate inverse time delay characteristic are provided by an induction type relay construct, similar to that of a domestic wattmeter or a reverse power relay. Current in the main winding is obtained through a current transformer from the alternator input to the switchboard. Okay, curve of relay. Curve of relay is alternating current in the main winding on the center leg of the upper laminate iron core produce a magnetic field that in turn induce current in the closed winding The magnetic field also with the closed winding is displaced from the magnetic field, the main winding, and the effect on the aluminium disk is to produce chaining eddy current in it. The tendency for the disk to rotate is prevented by a helical restraining spring when normal current is flowing. Electric current causes rotation against the spring. A moving contact on the spindle rotates about half a turn. The two fixed contacts are bridged and the tripping circuit is closed. And the comparison, we have advantage and disadvantage. When we talk about advantage, it was time a few rely on Mother Nature material emit to achieve the protective function. The overcurrent relay, especially the digital type, implement the man-made functionalities to meet the protective needs. Because of advent of latest digital technologies, the functionalities can be finally manipulated and conditionally implemented, which are things not possible with fuels. Okay, how about disadvantage? Disadvantage is the contact becoming worn, resulting in a limited lifespan that they don't perform that we when it comes to fishing high increased current. Electric relay can switch rapidly because relay use more power due to the current flowing through the coil. And next, thank you. That's all.
Assalamualaikum, nama saya Nurul Ifabati Mak Najib Zakaria. Saya akan membentangkan tajuk three-phase transformer connection untuk power system. Okay, first kita pergi pada basic construction. Basic construction kita ada 3 lead core dengan 5 lead core. So, seperti terlihat pada gambar ni, ada core type construction dengan share type construction. Kat gambar tu ada terdapat magnet, line of flux. Lepas tu kita ada primary dengan secondary winding. Okay, seterusnya untuk basic circuit, kita ada beberapa basic circuit iaitu star connection, delta connection, transformer delta to delta connection dengan transformer star to star connection. Kita boleh tengok delta dengan star ni dia ada berbeza bentuk. Seterusnya untuk principle of operation dengan karakteristik. Pada gambar ni kita boleh lihat ada primary transformer yang dihubungkan dengan daya bintang pada teras. Untuk kesedaran, hanya belitan prima ditunjukkan dalam gambar yang disamakan melintas si bekalan AC 3 fasa. Ketika teras ini disusun pada sudut 120 darjah antara satu sama lain, kaki kosong sejak inti itu digabungkan dengan sedemikian rupa sehingga membentuk kaki tengah seperti yang ditunjukkan dalam gambar itu. Okey, untuk principle operation pula, sumber utama ni diteraju dengan sumber bekalan 3 fasa iaitu arus IR, IY dengan IB. Yang mula mengalir melalui berletar fasa individu. Arus ini menghasilkan flux magnet iaitu flux R, flux Y dengan flux B di teras masing-masing. Oleh kerana kaki tengah biasanya untuk semua teras, jumlah ketiga flux ni dibawa olehnya. Dalam sistem 3 fasa ni, bila masa jumlah faktor semua arus adalah sifar. Pada gilirannya pada masa ini jumlah semua flux adalah sama, oleh itu kaki tengah tidak membawa sebarang perubahan. Sebarang perubahan pada sekitar, oleh itu walaupun kaki tengah dikeluarkan tidak ada perbezaan dalam keadaan pengubah lain. Begitu juga dalam sistem 3 fasa di mana-mana dua konduktor ini bertindak sebagai arus balik pada konduktor ketiga. Manakala dua kaki bertindak sebagai jalan balik, flux untuk kaki ketiga jika kaki tengah dikeluarkan sekiranya berlaku pengubah 3 fasa. Oleh itu, semasa merancang transformer 3 fasa, prinsip ini digunakan. Sebenarnya, ini mendorong EMF sekunder dalam fasa masing-masing sehingga mengekalkan sudut fasa di antara mereka. EMF ini mendorong arus di sekunder dan seterusnya ke beban. Bergantung pada jenis sambungan yang digunakan dan jumlah putaran pada setiap fasa. Dan voltaj yang diinduksikan akan bervariasi untuk mendapatkan tegangan dan tegangan kenaikan ataupun penurunan. Untuk operasi 3 phase transformer, ada 3 iaitu block emission first block emission transformer. Block transformer bersama dengan generator membentuk satu unit. Mereka mewujudkan hubungan antara perjalanan dan sisi voltaj tinggi. Transformer mesin beroperasi dengan cara yang sama seperti transformer blok di mana pada mulanya beberapa perjalanan bekerjasama di babas. Seterusnya, plan vektor pilihan untuk kedua-dua transformer adalah YD5. Seterusnya, untuk main transformer iaitu transformer utama berfungsi sebagai penghubung antara rangkaian penghantaran satah voltan yang berbeza. Mis antara arus elektrik 380 kW dengan 220 kW. Transformer rangkaian lebih disukai dalam kumpulan vektor YY0. Seterusnya untuk last sekali untuk aplikasi ialah dispersion and urban network transformer. Okay, maksud dia ialah transformer ni pengedaran menghubungkan rangkaian penghantaran ke sistem pengguna. Transformer rangkaian bandar adalah transformer yang voltan bawahnya kurang daripada 1 kW. Kepentingan khususnya berlaku untuk membekalkan rangkaian bandar yang tidak simetri. Kumpulan vektor DY5 ini sesuai untuk transformer rangkaian dan pengedaran bandar. Advantage dan disadvantage. Okay, untuk advantage kita ada 4 iaitu inexpensive, lightweight dengan high efficient dan easy to install. Terusnya, disadvantage ialah greater cost of standby unit, cost of repair dengan reduced capacity, last sekali fault correction. So, itu saja daripada saya. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum. My name is M.Rifqi Aiman bin Azizan. My matric number is AA32403. Today I want to present about our group assignment for subject electrical power system for the topic transmission lines. Okay, as we all know, transmission line is created to carry a electrical signal from one place to another place by using a pair of electrical conductors. There are many types of transmission line that used around the world. Firstly, this is a ladder line, twisted pair, coaxial cable, and microstrip. This is some example that I take from the internet for show to you. For more information, to get the best transmission line, firstly, it must be a high frequency of electromagnetic wave that moving through a cable. Then when the high frequency is achieved, so the wavelength of the waves needs to be short. So this is the best situation or condition that need for the transmission line. Okay, next we will discuss about the basic construction of transmission line. There are the steps that used in wire string operation. Firstly, stringing and install conductor. Okay, in the stringing and install the conductor, it will use a helicopter to string the pilot line from tower to tower. Then it will treat with a wire, rollers, and attach it with insulator Then it used a clamp lock device to secure pilot line in the rollers. Second, pulling the conductor. The conductor is attached on pulling cable and connect with tensioning machine on a truck. Thirdly, sagging and dead ending. The tensioner is used to sag the conductors. After the conductor is pulled, it needs to sag because conductors can be expanded and contracted according to the change of weather or temperature. For example, when they are exposed to the high temperature, it will become tense to damage. The next step is splicing. Splicing is performed at dead and tower locations to connect the splice segments together. The temporary splice will remove and replace by permanent splice. Next, lastly, this is last step for stringing wire for overhead transmission system. Clipping. Then the conductors need to clip into tangent towers. This process also remove and replace the clamps and the final hardware to secure the conductors in the insulators. Moreover, in this steps, it install vibration dampers, spaces with between the conductors. Okay, now we will show how the basic circuit and its associated about the transmission line. Okay, from the diagram, we can see there have a voltage, inductance, capacitance, conductance in this model transmission line. Okay, you can see from the diagram, the resistance and inductance are structured in series, while capacitance and conductance are from the shunt impedance. Okay, let's see. In the line inductance, the current will flow in the transmission line and it will present a magnetic flux, while in the line capacitance, it has air that acts as a dielectric medium. Dielectric medium is consists from a capacitor and the conductors. Then the capacitance is very important, especially in long transmission, but it's not necessary in short transmission. Then we see the shunt impedance that consists of conductance and capacitance. When the alternating voltage applies to the conductor, not all the current can flow because of it have dielectric that not perfect. But the excess current cannot flow or can be labeled as leakage current because it has atmospheric condition and pollution like moisture. Alright, now we can see some formula to calculate the voltage regulation, or we can show it like this. Percent of voltage regulation is equal to sending end voltage minus by receiving end voltage divided by sending end voltage times by 100. Then the second formula is about the efficiency of transmission line, also can be measured by percentage of transmission line efficiency is equal to power delivered at receiving end over power sent from the sending end times by 100. Okay, next we will discuss about how the transmission lines operation and what is the characteristic. Okay, transmission lines as we know, is used to transfer the output energy of a transmitter to antenna, or transfer the electrical energy from the transmitter to a receiver by its antenna. So, in this situation, energy cannot be transferred by normal wire. It is because it can lose a lot of energy during the process of transmitting. So it have their own suitable wire, their own the best wire for them to overcome the great power loss. Okay, in the transmission line, it have two suitable characteristics. They are standard coaxial transmission line and balanced two-wire transmission line. For standard coaxial transmission line, this is work without radiation and the cable is isolated with the shield. But it's not same with balanced two-wire transmission line. Balanced two-wire transmission line are used insulated spaces that it make a separate between of connecting wires by using plastic material. Okay, let's see for the applications of transmission line. As we know, this component is one of the durable thing. It means it can durable using in high temperature or low temperature condition. So, of course, there are many applications that apply this transmission line to make some application that can give advantage or give benefit to the people. First, is signal transfer in the telephone transmission. Now, today we have many things that apply with transmission line. For example, telephone, your gadget. So there are signal transfer in telephone transmission, that's mean transmission line. In carrier telephone system, when at the lowest frequency, it will transmit more than above frequency. Next, transmission line are used in stub filter. This is a simple device and consists of transmission line that can change from short to open or open to short in every quarter wave. This type of stub filter is commonly used in UHF electronic oscillators. Next application is pulse generator system and pulse forming network. Pulse forming network is an electric circuit that accumulates electrical energy, then release the stored energy for various pulse power application. For example, we will see the pulse generator system and pulse forming network. Example is then the element energy storage that used in pulse forming network or PFN is inductance, capacitors, and their tasks are charged when in a high voltage power source, then they will discharge when in a condition high voltage switch. So we will continue our discussion by presenting or talk about advantage and disadvantage of transmission line. Okay, in the advantage, it have two types of transmission system: overhead transmission system and underground transmission system. Okay, let's see the advantage in overhead transmission system is it is low installation and material cost. When overhead, it will not take many costs because it just use uh, a simple tools like, or it will be high cost if you use helicopter to pull the string wire. Next, overhead transmission system is easier to maintain and locate the damage. So when it's easier to maintain and locate, it will not take a long time to repair the problems that occur. Next, it can be installed over river and mountain area. Okay, let's see how underground transmission system advantage. Okay, in underground transmission system is more safer than overhead transmission system because it doesn't have any obstruction to install the underground transmission system, and it increases reliability of supply of power when you use in underground transmission system types. Okay, next we will talk about the disadvantage of transmission line in a two system, overhead transmission system and underground transmission system. Okay, let's see first for overhead transmission system. Overhead transmission system can pollute the areas of the transmission installed. It is because during the work you do installation, it will cause maybe river pollution or water pollution. So it will not good for environment. Okay, next. Sometimes these lines come in the way of birds and low-flying aircraft, which can be dangerous. Next, this can expose by lightning strikes. When it's rain, it will be have lightning strike. So it is high causes about can become or can be exposed to lightning strikes at the transmission lines. Then underground transmission system also have their own disadvantage. Firstly, it is very difficult to install because you need to ground or make a hole at the ground and build it or install it the transmission line. So it will make a high cost and high maintenance when it's come on damage. Okay. Lastly, it is difficult to find and repair the wire breaks in case of failure of system. It will make time. It cannot be fast to overcome the problem because they need to hold the ground, make a ground, and find one by one transmission line that have a problem or have a damage. So that's all.
Farhan bin Muhammad Syedet, and I would like to present about earthing system. In electrical wiring and installation, earthing is the important thing that we must make sure in our job scope. Earthing system for electrical installation is for safety and electromagnetic power supply purpose. Earthing system function is to ensure all equipment or device is safe from risk of electrical shock and make sure the residual current device properly. The earthing system is divided into three types of earthing system. There is TT system, TN system, and IT system. In TT system, the principle of operation in TT system is the TT method refers to a protective system that directly grounds the metal housing of electrical device, which is called a protective earthing system, also called a TT system. The first symbol T indicates that the neutral point of power system is directly grounded. The second symbol T indicates that the conductive part of the load device that is not exposed to the live bodies is directly connected to the ground, regardless of the system is grounded. All grounding of the load in TT system is called protective grounding. The characteristic in TT system is when the leakage current is relatively small, even a fuse may not be able to blow. Therefore, a leakage protector is also required for protection. Therefore, the TT system is difficult to polarize. The grounding device of the TT system consumes a lot of strain, and it is difficult to recycle times and materials. At present, some construction units use the TT system when the construction units borrow its power supply for temporary use of electricity. A special protection line is used to reduce the amount of steel used for the grounding device. The application of TT system. Domestic and small industrial installation fed by utilities directly from the low utilities directly from the low voltage network. DTA has always been preferable for special application like telecommunication site that benefit from the interference-free earthing. Also, TT networks do purpose any serious risk in the case of a broken neutral. In addition, in location where power is distributed overhead, each conductor each conductor are not at risk of becoming live should any overhead distribution conductor be fractured by, say, a fallen tree or branch. The advantages the advantages of TT system. The most common found in earthing system fault in the low voltage and middle voltage grid do not migrate to other customer in the low voltage grid. Good security condition as the potential rise of the grounded conductive part must be limited at 50 volt for a fault inside the installation and a 0 volt for the fault on the network. Simple earthing of the installation and the easiest to implement. No influence of extending the network. The disadvantages of TT system is each customer needs to install and maintain its own ground electrode. Ground electrode safety and protection depend on the customer. Thus, complete reliability is not ensured. High overvoltage may occur between all live part and between live part and protective equipment conductor. Possible overvoltage stress on equipment installation of the installation. We are going to the TN system. TN system is divided to three systems. There is TNC system, TNCS system, and TNS system. The TNC, the TNC system, the TNC mode power supply system use the working neutral line as the zero crossing protection line, which can be called the protection neutral line and can be represented by PEN. The TNCS system. For the temporary power supply of the TNCS system, if the front part is powered by the TNC method and the construction code specifies that the construction site must use the TNS power supply system, the total distribution bulk can be divided at the rear part of the system. The TNS mode the TNS system. The TNS mode power supply system is power supply system that strictly separate the working neutral end from the dedicated protection line PE. It is called the TNS power supply system. The characteristic in TN system, it requires the installation of earth electrode at regular interval throughout the installation. That It requires that initial check on effective tripping for the first installation fault be carried out by calculation during the design stage. followed by mandatory measurement to confirm tripping during commissioning. It also requires that any modification or extension be designed and carried out by a qualified electrician, but may result in the case insertion fault in greater damage to the winding of rotation machine. May, on the premise with a risk of fire, represent a greater danger due to the high fault current. The advantages of the N system: lower earthing resistance of PEN conductor, no overvoltage stress on equipment insertion. The TNS system has the best electromagnetic compatibility (EMC) properties for 15 Hz and high frequency currents. Certainly when low voltage cable with a grounded shell is applied. The N earthing system could work with simple overcurrent protection. The advantages of the N system: fault in the electrical network at a higher voltage level may migrate into the low voltage grid grounding, causing touch voltage at the low voltage customer. A fault in the low voltage network may use touch voltage at other customer. The protection to be fit in the case of network modification, increase of fault load impedance. The application in the N system. In the areas of UK where underground power cabling is prevalent, the TNS system is common. Most modem in Europe have a TNCS earthing system. The combined neutral and earth occurs between the nearest transformer substation and the service cutout, the fuse before the meter. After this, separate earth and neutral core are used in all the internal wiring. Some older homes, especially those built before the invention of residual current circuit breaker uh, and wire home area network, use an in-house TNC arrangement. It is not longer recommended practice. The principle we are going to the IT system. In the IT system, the principle of operation in IT system is it mode power IT system mode power supply system. It it indicates that the power supply set has no working on ground or is grounded at high impedance. The second letter T indicates that the load side electrical equipment is grounded. The IT mode power supply system has high reliability and good security when the power supply distance is not known. The characteristic in IT system: each solution offering the best continuity of service during operation. It also indication of the first insertion fault, followed by mandatory location and clearing ensure systematic prevention of supply voltage. Generally used in installation supplied by a private middle voltage, low voltage or low voltage transformer. Require maintenance personnel for monitoring and operation. The advantages of IT system: the IT system allows you to increase the lifespan of your equipment. The IT system allows you to optimize the maintenance. The IT system also facilitates your preventive maintenance. The IT system allows you to reduce the risk of fire or explosion. The IT routing system allows you to increase the availability of your installation. The advantages of IT system: the limits linked to load, the limits due to the physical characteristic of network, and the also case of network with replacement power supply. The application of IT system is in hospital and marine. IT is mandatory according to the standard. Some industry applications use IT ensure that faulty current does not represent a danger of fire or explosion, munition storage, miner, and silos. Others industry application use IT to ensure continuity of service, cold storage. Other industry application use IT ensure continuity of service. An example is cold storage, emergency lighting, nuclear power station, and airport. In photo in photovoltaic application as well, IT is used. This is a growing market.